Hello everyone. Today, I am going to make tier lists. Pokemon tier lists. There's going to be multiple videos, probably. Just remember, I have the best opinions, and your opinions probably suck if they're not my opinions. If they're my opinions, you also have the best opinions. So be on the lookout for, sharing your opinion with me, the person who obviously knows more and better than you. Okay? Well, let's get into our tier list. Every Pokemon ever. I'm not doing every Pokemon ever. Oh, main series game. This. Okay. Are you guys ready? Does this have Sword and Shield? This doesn't have Sword and Shield. It does? Wait, it does? Oh god, did I miss it? Wait. Oh my god, they're so scrunched. I thought they'd be longer than everything else. Listen, my opinions are good, okay? Not my, my ability to find things in a collage of pictures, okay? Let us do this. Alpha Sapphire is a solid B. Alpha Sapphire is, of course, the remake of Ruby and Sapphire, but honestly, I'd rather play Emerald. If I was given the option to play Alpha Sapphire again, or Emerald, even with the better battle mechanics, I'd probably play Emerald. I think I actually prefer Emerald. I remember this game being very slow, and it made me very adverse to replaying it, whereas Emerald, I would pick up right now and play again. And just to be concise here, Omega Ruby is slightly better than Alpha Sapphire just because I like Kyogre. I like Groudon more than Kyogre. Okay? Black and White 2. Or White 2, I should say. Which also, I wish these were all, together, because it's, kind of dumb that they're not. But here we go. Again, I like Kyurem. I like Zekrom more than Kyurem. A-rank games, okay? They are on the cusp of S. Why are they on the cusp of S? They build upon Black and White. But if I have to do that movie game, mini-game thing one more time, I'm going to drop Pokemon forever. Why force me to do the stupid mini-game with the movie thing? It's not fun. It's not cool. You're not an epic gamer. No. Screw that. The story's okay. But it's not as good as Black and White. It's a good story for Pokemon standards. It's not as good as a story as Pokemon Black and White, the originals. Okay? Okay. Glad we discussed that. Spittin'. Alright, Pokemon White. And while we're at it, Pokemon Black, same thing. Zekrom I like better. S-rank games. The pacing of these games is incredible. You never feel like there's a dull moment because there's so many rival fights and encounters and enemy encounters and an enemy who also is a rival at the same time. Very reminiscent of Silver back in the Gold, Silver, Crystal days and Heart Gold, Soul Silver days. It's very good. These games are fantastic. Their drawback is the limitation of the Pokedex until the post-game, but that's also one of its strengths. By forcing you to use new Pokemon, you have to discard your old attachments. You have to discard your nostalgia and make new connections with new creatures, which was the whole point of the game, to prove that humans and Pokemon are made to get along, and it's not about, anything besides the connections you make with those Pokemon. Mwah. Creme de la creme. I don't like all of Gen 5's Pokemon designs, but it was a transitional era in terms of designs, going from the complexity of Gen 4 to the more simplistic approach that we have going further into the future, even till now, like the James Turner era of Pokemon. I don't know if you guys know who James Turner is. One of the Pokemon designers. I think he was the lead art director of Sword and Shield, if I'm remembering correctly. And definitely probably best story. Maybe alongside Sun and Moon, but we'll get there eventually. So we will put these all down here. Venusaur is obviously better than Charizard, who's better than Blastoise. Thus, Venusaur goes first, even though Leaf is probably terrible. All right. Pokemon Blue, and thus also Pokemon Red. Oh, right. Charizard's better than Blastoise. Doesn't really matter for these, though. Oh, actually, Arcanine's in red. Growlithe is in red, and Arcanine is in red. Growlithe and Arcanine obviously being the same Evo line. Yeah, so red's better. These games are broken. They're a glitchy mess. You literally can get Gen 2 Pokemon in these games because they are so rushed. But they're not a D. And you know why they're not a D? Because I would pick up a Pokemon Red right now, insert it into a Game Boy Advanced SP or something, and I would play it. And I would have a good time. There is a general amount of game design that compensates for the fact that these games are broken, glitchy, and ridiculous, unbalanced monstrosities of games. However, that can't salvage them too much. I think they are a high C, though. I think they are a high C. These are my first Pokemon games ever. Pretty cool. But the nostalgia doesn't hold up for me like Gen 1ers. People pretend those games are unlinear, but it's just unbalanced. They aren't linear in the middle, but they're linear in the beginning and end. And the middle is basically linear because there's a technical order to do the gyms, but you don't have to do them in that order. And that's, again, a bonus point for game design that makes it a bit interesting. You know what I mean? And yeah, Glitch Mew and stuff. I mean, like, it's dumb. It's just dumb, dude. Crystal. Above Black and White. Crystal is the magnum opus of Pokemon on the GBA. Pokemon on the GBA, the Game Boy. Pokemon on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color are by far surpassed in every way by Crystal. Obviously, Gold and Silver are pretty close, but Crystal just has slightly better, and that's all it needs to do. All it needs to do is be slightly better than Gold and Silver to be the best game on the Game Boy line, the Game Boy Color line. And honestly, it actually might be the best on all the Game Boys. It might be better than Fire Red. It might be better than Emerald. It's definitely better than Ruby and Sapphire. It might be just the best game Pokemon game to ever come out, besides like spin-offs and stuff, on a Game Boy system. Ridiculous. Monstrous. Crystal, solid A. A slightly higher A than these two. But there's reason that this can't be S. It can never be S. Diamond. Weird. This is going to be surprising for some people. Diamond and Pearl. You thought I was going to put them in A. They're B. I love Gen 4. But Diamond and Pearl have problems. Diamond and Pearl have problems. What do Diamond and Pearl have issues with? It's really, really simple. Diamond and Pearl are slow. Their engine is terrible. The pacing's not great. Having you skip a gym that should be the 3rd gym and making it the 5th gym just ruins the pace of the game. But they are very fun. Yeah, the typings are not balanced. The electric to fire. There's like 2 electric types, 2 fire types. There's like nothing. And then they had the gall. They had the gall to have no electric and fire types, and then to make an electric gym leader and a fire type Elite Four member. And not to mention the electric gym leader is the 8th gym leader. The slowness is what kills these games. These games have the potential to be great fun, and we'll find that out in a few minutes, but their slowness kills them more than anything. The story is underexplained comparatively to what it could be. Again, we'll see in a little bit, but generally speaking, these are enjoyable games. I would rather play those than Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. All right, Emerald. A low A. Low A. Introduces the Battle Frontier. And the trainer battles where they walk at you at the same time. And it combines the stories of Ruby and Sapphire into one game and then makes Rayquaza part of the story. Emerald, pretty solid. It's very replayable. It's a lot of fun. And it's a good improvement, I'd say, but not a game changer improvement over Ruby and Sapphire. The addition of the Battle Frontier is cool. Can't lie. Can't say the Battle Frontier is not cool. It just, I didn't know even how it worked as a kid because it's very not clear. But, you know, honestly, Emerald solid. Great, but not amazing. Great, but not amazing. All right. Fire Red and Leaf Green. Yeah, that's where they go. Mid B. Mid B. Fire Red and Leaf Green are obviously an improvement on Gen 1 in pretty much every way. They are. They saved the generation, basically, and brought it to a whole new line and the whole new gen of people, right? Your younger brother can now play Gen 1 and you could play it with him because it's like a new Gen 1. However, what did they really add? What did they add to make it different besides just throwing it into Gen 3's engine? They added the islands. The Sevi Islands. 7 islands of you probably skipped them because they're optional. And nobody does the Sevi Islands except for Moltres. Alright, when you first played these games, type a 1 in the chat if you actually cared about the Sevi Islands. Not now. I don't care if you care about them now. Did you ever care about the Sevi Islands like back when these games came out or like the first time you played them? Or did you just skip them? 1? What? You cared about the Sevi Islands? I skipped it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, those are the numbers I like to see. Never heard of them? Exactly. Josh understands. Never heard of the Sevi Islands. The big new feature of the Gen 1 remakes. Not that good. They're not great. They're good games. They introduced the little IR thing. They came with it. You could even see the picture right there. The little IR thing that did wireless trading. But that still means you need to plug something into your Game Boy to do wireless trading. Fire Red, Leaf Green brought the national decks. Yeah, except you had to beat the game first. Did you forget that? Did you forget that you had to beat the game first to get the national decks? I couldn't find my little IR reader. It's somewhere on the couch. I can't be bothered to look for it right now. Yeah, they're def a mid B. National decks is not that interesting, dude. Gold and silver. Above emerald as an A. When I say I think Gen 2 is better than Gen 3 in every way, except for like certain game mechanic things like, you know, that they added in, like certain little things. And it's not crazy game mechanics that I'm talking about here. I'm talking like little things. I'm being honest when I say that. I would rather play gold or silver over emerald. With 2 regions, the red battle, so 16 badges, the 16 badges, the Elite Four, the red battle, you have so much content that the Battle Frontier doesn't make up for that. The Battle Frontier just doesn't. And in terms of raw gameplay, the gameplay loop is fine. All right, it's not like they make the game defining changes that come in Diamond and Pearl, right? The special physical split is literally the biggest change that ever happened in Pokemon. Some people will say it's abilities. Some people will say it's breeding, which also was Gen 2. Breeding was, abilities were Emerald, and Natures. Some will say those. But I say it was 100% the physical special split. Gold and Silver are definitely above Gen 3. All right. Heavy hitter. Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Type where you think Heart Gold, Soul Silver is going in the chat. Tell me right now where you think these games are going to end up on my tier list. We have a smart chat here. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are S. Now, this is where opinion comes into play, and it's opinion I'm allowing you to have, okay? I told you before that my opinion is law, and you're just wrong if you don't have my opinion. But this is where your opinion can come into play. Heart Gold, Soul Silver can be better than Black and White to some people. If you think Heart Gold and Soul Silver are better than Black and White, I don't judge you. I don't judge you at all. It is a weekly thing where there's some weeks where I'll be like this, and some weeks I'll be like this. And this week just happens to be a week where I'm like this. The issues with Heart Gold, Soul Silver that people don't talk about because they want to pretend these games were perfect. They were not. They have issues. Black and White overrated IMO. Well, maybe you should learn to read and stop skipping the dialogue. Okay? You'll learn something. You're one of the people who mashes the A button and then asks why Pokemon doesn't have a story, huh? You're skipping the dialogue and you're like, where's the story? I don't know. I don't know where they would have put the story if not in the dialogue, you know? Anyway, this is the issue with Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Their story. What's the story in Heart Gold, Soul Silver? Chat? That's right. The story in Heart Gold Soul Silver is basic. Team Rocket wants to get Giovanni back to their team. And Giovanni's like, no. Giovanni literally had a baby mama, abandoned her and their kid. Then the baby mama abandoned the kid. And that's the story. And guess what? The cutscene that ties that whole story together to make it a conclusion, to at least have a story, is a Celebi event that, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, is not accessible in the game. It's a Celebi event that you can't actually access in the game. So are we really going to give it story points for having a cutscene that's not in the game? Really? No, we're not. And that's the issue. I've done it too. I like the story of the cutscene. I think it elevates these games higher. But I can't... Wait, you did it... Wait, how did you do it? Did you do it by hacking it in? It's accessible if you, like, cheat. Hold up. Let me double check. Okay, we're back. Sorry if I had to cut there in the edit. The Celebi event is a GameStop exclusive thing, limited time only, to get the rest of the story that you needed for your game. Now, some weasels will be like, at least it's free. No. I don't care if it's free if it's a limited time only. So dumb. Yeah, it was a limited time event. Yeah. When I say you can't access it, I mean you couldn't log on to a fresh copy of this game right now and access it. And thus you can't have access to the full story. I think I made my case for them being S rank. And it's time we move on. I know you see what's next. Pokemon, let's go straight to D rank. Pokemon, let's go straight to D rank. Imagine taking all the interesting gameplay mechanics that have been added to Pokemon throughout the years, stripping them away, and then wondering why people don't like your game. And then also adding a mobile game's catching mechanics into the game that aren't fun. They don't make you think more intricately about the game. They don't encourage catching as an interesting feature. It's just a nonsense thing you do. And honestly, these games would have been a C rank. A low C rank, mind you. A C rank, though, if you still to this day couldn't transfer your Pokemon from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Home, and you had to use this to transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Home. But you don't need to do that anymore. So these things aren't even necessary to get a full dex. Shoo, out of here. I'd rather just play regular Pokemon Go at this point. With Let's Go's flaws, I didn't enjoy it very much at all. It took me a long time to actually sit down and finish it. And because of that, I can't rank it any higher than it is right now. It's pretty bad. Pokemon Let's Go straight to a D rank. Okay. Pokemon Sun and Moon. I don't know if what I'm about to say is controversial. You know what? I don't care. Pokemon Sun and Moon. Soak it in, chat. Soak it in. Some of you are saying D. Some of you are vicious. I am not that vicious. So, let me tell you why Pokemon Sun and Moon are under the glitchy mess of a game that Pokemon Red and Blue are. I would sooner pick up and play Pokemon Red and Blue again than Pokemon Sun and Moon. That's just it. That's it. Sun and Moon has a very interesting story. It does. Read the dialogue for once in your life. It does have an interesting story, and its characters are a show of what characters will be in the Pokemon franchise going forward, as shown in Sword and Shield's characters as well, though Sword and Shield's story, not as good. Sun and Moon suffered from pacing. Pacing was such a big issue in these games. It's unbelievable. It's just ridiculous. It makes no sense, the pace of these games. I don't know what they were thinking with how slow it was. It's not enjoyable to play. Story was okay. Story's pretty good, actually, guys. Story's pretty good. Go read the dialogue again. I promise you, it's actually worth your time. Or play Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, which I'm pretty sure is the same story, just slightly altered. Hard on the hand-holding. The series has always been easy, but there's too many cutscenes. Well, the cutscenes don't mean hand-holding, but if you mean the fact that you can... Okay, so there... Okay, one, your guaranteed encounter. So guaranteed encounter has been a feature since Gen 6 in the Pokemon franchise. Okay? Cool. But you don't need to have a guaranteed encounter for like the first 3 routes. Sun and Moon have a guaranteed encounter for the first 3 routes. Do you know every rival battle except for the last rival battle? Even though he has the starter that's weak to your starter, you're allowed to lose. You're allowed to lose every single rival battle in that game except the last one. Because why? I don't know. Why have difficulty? The trials are interesting, but when your system just feels like a glorified gym system that's trying to be different without actually being different, because it's just a puzzle-based thing that leads to a hard battle, meh. You failed. You failed in your endeavor to change the formula, so the formula has to come back, and that's why it did come back. It's a good idea to try and change the formula, but you have to actually change it. You can't just call a rock a stick and pretend the rock to be a stick. Z moves are also not that cool of a gimmick. I'll say it right now. Mega Evolutions and Dynamaxing are a better gimmick than Z moves. Enough hating on Pokemon games, all right? You know what time it is, boys. You know what time it is, boys. Pokemon Platinum. What's Pokemon Platinum? The greatest Pokemon game of all time. What? Pokemon Platinum is the greatest Pokemon game of all time? Why would Carthu say this? Something so controversial, yet so brave. It's very simple, guys. Pokemon Platinum was the beginning of the Pokemon Renaissance. The reason I like Platinum is not because it's objectively the best game. It's not. That's the crazy part about me loving Platinum. Black and White and Heart Gold Soul Silver are better games than Platinum. Why am I saying Platinum's the best game then? Because what Platinum did was it shifted. It shifted its focus to pacing in the gameplay. It shifted its focus to narrative and exposition and character. When you meet Cyrus at the lake at the very beginning of the game, after you've already gotten your starter, by the way, because the pacing of the game is really good, so you get your starter really quickly, which is all good Pokemon games, by the way, you get your starter really quickly. Think about it. In Platinum, you get your starter right away. You go to the lake, you meet Cyrus, and you start to learn Cyrus's motives. Motives that you'll follow him throughout the region and learn more about. And understand what Team Galactic is all about. It was a focus on pacing. It was a focus on story. It was a focus on making a good game. Not the best game, because it's not the best game objectively, but a good game. And that mindset took Pokemon in an upward trend that would lead to these games. An upward trend that would lead to these games right here. These two, and these two. That's why I moved Platinum up to the best game of all time. And I'm saying that right now. Nothing else on this list is going above it. And that should be pretty obvious based on what's left. So, with that said, I think I've said enough about Platinum. I actually kind of want to make like a video on Pokemon games at some point, maybe. Like not a video like this where I'm just taking a stream clip, but an actual video. So for now, let's end it there. Ruby and Sapphire. No. I can't do it. I just can't. I can't put them in B tier. I can't put them next to Oras. I can't. Oras is better Ruby and Sapphire in every way. It's not better Emerald, but it's better Ruby and Sapphire in every way. Pretty much every way. I can't think of off the top of my head an issue I have with Ruby Sapphire. I mean, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. They're better than Red and Blue, but let me explain to you Ruby and Sapphire's big issues, okay? When Ruby and Sapphire first came out, now this is obviously going to be something that doesn't affect you now, but did affect you back then. And so we have to take like this like timed experience versus the now experience. But during the time they came out, Nintendo, Game Freak actually I should say, literally just said to you, you're not getting your Pokemon from your Game Boy Color or your Game Boy. You're not getting your Pokemon, okay? They're staying there. We can't transfer them over. So you know how the Nat Dexers are like angry that Sword and Shield doesn't have a full national dex? Do you guys know that? You guys know, you've seen all that about Sword and Shield? Gen 3, for a while, you couldn't have every Pokemon. For a long time, actually. Basically until Emerald and Fire Red Leaf Green came out. You could not have a full Pokedex of every Pokemon from every region without the other games later on. They were released without any way to get them. They were released with a capped Pokedex. That's right. You guys don't realize this. Nobody realizes it. Nobody thinks. But they were released with a Pokedex you couldn't finish. That's bad. Another thing, going from the 2-region giant world of Pokemon Gold and Silver and Crystal to the 1-region fairly slow world of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, there's never been a bigger downgrade in Pokemon's history. There's only been one other downgrade as big in Pokemon's history, and we'll talk about that later. But that was the first big downgrade in Pokemon history. Story then, right? The story has to be carrying these games to be above Gold and Silver, right? And Crystal. Because Heart Gold, Soul Silver are losing here because of story, right? This game doesn't have 2 regions. That's right. There is a story. This one wants to flood the earth and kill everybody. And this one wants to cause a global drought and kill everybody. Why? Because they say that's better. That's the story. That's the lore. That's what you signed up for when you bought those games. Now, this was at a time when Pokemon didn't really focus on a narrative. Okay? That doesn't excuse it, though, when you're comparing it to other games that do have a narrative. Magma and Aqua are hilariously bad? Yes, they are. You know why they're hilariously bad? Because they realize the minute they do what they do, oh, we made a mistake. The minute they act, they realize they make a mistake. Now, in Emerald, at least they're like fighting each other, so there's some sort of gang turf war or something going on. But here? Nah, dude. Absolutely nonsensical BS. Terrible game. It's just bad. And that's it. I would rather play Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire before I'd ever touch these games, so I can't put them up there on the same tier. Same thing like I did here with Fire Red Leaf Green versus Red and Blue. All right. Sword and Shield. People are going to be so mad at me. People are going to be so mad at me. I'm thinking there's one of 2 spots I want to put it. And if I put it in one spot, I have to move something else. I'm counting Sword and Shield as including the DLC. I'm thinking of it as a $90 game. I'm thinking of it as a $90 game with all the DLC. Oh, you guys think I'm going low? No. If I was going low, I wouldn't be like saying, oh no, they're going to roast me. Sword and Shield is trash. Oh, yeah, no, we don't agree at all. There. Middle of B tier. I was tempted to put it in A. I'm still tempted to put it in A. But if I put it in A, I have to put Diamond and Pearl in A. If they improved animations like they said they would, they did improve animations. Play Pokemon Camp. All the animations in Pokemon, a lot of the animations in Pokemon Camp are actually new. Yes, with all DLC. It's a $90 game. That's what I'm considering it as, a $90 game. The thing about Sword and Shield, as a base game, I'd still probably, even if I was just talking the base game, I probably would still put it like here. I wouldn't put it that far down. Why? Because Sword and Shield are fun. Crazy, I know. It's almost like they're the most replayable Pokemon games of all time. That's right. You can catch so many Pokemon so early on and have such a different team each time you play through that game, and especially with the DLCs, especially with Isle of Armor. I mean, especially because you can just hop on the train to Isle of Armor, skip, and come back to the story later on. The main story. That's one of the reasons it's down so low. It is legitimately so replayable. Notably, Sword and Shield has a bad story. But as I will show in videos to come, hopefully, eventually. I have my camera now, so now I really have no excuse to not make these videos. X and Y is most... There's no way this man just said X and Y is the most playable. Oh, Crown Tundra stuff is available for the first gym. Cool, that's good. I didn't know for sure. All right, when people say... Let me get back here. Distant Kingdom just, like, makes fun of animations. I don't care. I don't care about the animations that much. I wish they were better. Yes. What are the issues? Let's go through this really quick. Sword and Shield are graphically bad. They are. They're graphically weak. The graphical fidelity meaning the, like, caliber of graphical intrigue, right? Put into these. It's just general graphical quality, let's say, is pretty low. However, art direction, mwah, chef's kiss. There are so many good-looking areas in the game just from the art direction. Now, when I say art direction, what does that mean? Composition of pieces, colors, atmosphere. Sword and Shield has good atmosphere in a lot of its locations, and it has a certain charm to its art style. 100% it does. It just has bad graphical fidelity. The textures need to be a bit better. There needs to be more polygons and things. That's what has to happen here. The graphics look great. I don't know what you mean. Okay, compare it to any other Switch game, like Breath of the Wild, or, what's that other one? With the guy with the sword who runs around in, like, his swim trunks or whatever. Do you guys know what game I'm talking about? The one with the guy in the big red sword? He's in Smash as well. I think the story is mid. I haven't been able to get this point out because I keep reading the chat. Xenoblade, thank you. Xenoblade looks fantastic. The story is trash. You're right. You don't interact with any events. The Team Yell stuff is just sort of a red herring for the actual end game story that's going to happen, and that makes it really bad. You never feel like you're part of it. However, the characters are really good. So like I said before, guys, you got to stop mashing the A button. I really wish I could just, like, flick the A button off your controllers for you. That way you never could press it when a character is talking in a video game. Because you guys just skip past the dialogue, it feels like, whenever I talk to people. Because they say things like that. They say Hop was okay. Hop had a whole character arc where he got depressed. He started thinking he was, like, representing his brother poorly. He started having doubts about his own journey. He didn't know what he wanted to be in life because he always was living in his brother's shadow. Are you kidding me? Hop was okay? And then he comes to a conclusion that he can make himself his own thing by the end of the story, even getting acknowledged by the legendary king of the region. What are you talking about? Nonsense! You guys... This is why I need to make the character videos. Bede has a character arc. Hop has a character arc. Leon has a character more than a character arc. Chairman Rose has a decent character arc. Or not a decent character arc, a decent amount of character development. Dude, it's like legit frustrating. Sonya even has a character arc, by the way. It's legit frustrating when people say, like, these characters just don't have character. They do. Read the dialogue. It's right there in front of you. It's literally on the screen in the little box. Look, look, look. If you guys are in the Pokemon game and you see this on the screen, you stop and you open your eyes and you read. Does Marnie? Marnie has a decent story too. Not as good as Hop and Bede, though. Marnie's story is kind of the weakest of the 3 rivals, but that's okay because you have 2 really strong rivals in terms of story. But Marnie has a decent story, yes. This is what people don't realize. Sword and Shield has good characters. It just has a bad story. It has bad plot points that take you through those character arcs, which is fine. Oh, it's not fine, which is why it's there on the list. It has issues, but those issues are so little in my mind. And by the way, any game below Sword and Shield, I would sooner pick up Sword and Shield and play it again for a 5th time. I've played Sword and Shield through 4 times already. I was about to say 3. I can't count. I've played through Sword and Shield 4 times already, all the way through. I would do it again before playing any of those games, and I probably will do it again. I'm actually in the middle of my 5th playthrough right now. Isle of Armor Rivals, a little eh. Peony, is a little weak. Peony's interesting lore is better than... Peony has lore. Like, Peony has really cool lore, but he doesn't have character as much. I think, well, he has a character, but it's subtext. It's not great. The lore of those regions, the DLC, not that great. The story of those regions is okay. Calrex has a better story than, like, Peony, right? Calrex is pretty decent. But yeah, so Sword and Shield, mid B, okay? And y'all can, like, you know... I don't know. I don't know what I was about to say. Leave a hate comment if you disagree with me. All right. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Yeah. Yeah. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon fix a lot of the issues of Sun and Moon. And that's really all it does. That's all it does. That's it. That's it. That's all it needs to do. When you fix a lot of the issues of these games, you get these games. Fix a lot of the issues of these games, you get these games. Fix these games, you get these games. It's the same thing. These games go to these games. You get what I'm saying? It just fixes the issues of Sun and Moon. It makes Sun and Moon enjoyable. It's harder. It's less slow-paced. And it's just more interesting. And there you go. It's a solid mid-B. I don't think you need to go too in-depth onto why, because we'd just be repeating Sun and Moon stuff. It still has the same... It still has a strong story, just like Sun and Moon. This is a good placing for it, I feel. B rank is getting a bit stuffed, though. To the point that I'm actually going to elevate Diamond and Pearl to a low A. Okay? I am going to raise them to a low A. Just to balance it out. Basically, they're in the same spot, though. Remember, they were just slightly above Sword and Shield. You know what I mean? So, basically in the same spot. All right. X and Y. Pokémon Monster. X and Y. People are going to hate me. I know where I want to put it. But it seems like a lot of you like X and Y. I've played X and Y 3 times. One of the times I didn't finish it, though. It's still on my 3DS, waiting to be finished. I played them 3 times, though. Now, this opinion right here could change. There's only one good character in these games, or decent character. I can't remember her name. And she's just okay. Shauna? Is it Shauna? Sauna? I don't know. Is she sweating? Is she a sauna? I don't know. She's okay. Alright? Other characters? No, they're not characters. Dummy. What else? The story's not there. The gameplay loop, or the actual story pacing, or the actual pacing of the game, I should say, it's not that great. I'd rather play any game above it more than I'd rather play it, and everything below it, I'd rather play it more than. That's basically what it comes down to. They were enjoyable when they came out, but now they're not. The guy with Floette. He was okay. He wasn't, like, you find out about AZ, like, way too late in the game. AZ is another example of a character with lore and not a character with development, right? He's not a character that grows alongside your journey like your Pokemon do. He's a character that's there and exists, and you give him a resolution to his own story that you didn't get to see firsthand. You've only heard about his story. Well, and then you get like a flashback thing to it. It's okay. I like AZ. I'll probably end up making a video. If I do these character videos like I want to, he'll probably be on the in the character video. That's about it. All right. Pokemon Yellow. That's easy. Pokemon Yellow improves Pokemon Red and Blue. And it's fun. Pikachu following you is sick. The game is enjoyable. Anime Team Rocket is there. It's a good old time. Is it crazy? No. It's Pokemon Yellow. But is it enjoyable enough to play? Yeah. By the way, anything that's above B and above, I would actively play right now. I would play these games right now and I would not contest playing these games right now. All right? Obviously, then it's like which I'd rather play at that point. But these are all games I'd play right now. These games are games that I'd actively try to not play or play something else on the list to substitute them out, right? So I'd rather play Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, I'd rather play Fire Red, Leaf Green, rather play Fire Red, Leaf Green, or literally anything else. I'd rather play Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, or Emerald. And that's it. I don't think I need to go into detail about Yellow. It's not that different from Red and Blue. It's just slightly better and slightly more fun. And that's all it needs to be. And you know, we got a nice bell curve there. Decent bell curve. It's not evenly distributed. Actually, it would be evenly distributed if I put these here. Which, honestly, what would happen probably is this would go here, and these would go here. That's probably what would happen. These are just worse versions of these, and this is literally this. These are literally the same. So this is probably what it would actually look like, but since I've never played these games, I can't actually say that. So I'm going to leave that there. Oh, also, Venusaur above Charizard. Sorry about that. Our best boy. All right, there's our tier list. Easy. Tier list 1, done. So that's my tier list. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you want to see more Pokemon content on this channel, like those character videos that I was talking about. If you want to see these things happen live, well, still subscribe to the channel. That happened live right here. So you could come in, chat, yell at me. If you disagree, you're wrong, but, you know, you could try. And that'd be great. Love to have you here. And until next time, peace.